एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः. Holding this view, these ruined souls of small intellect and fierce deeds come forth as the enemies of the world for its destruction. Ugra karma. Terrible, destructive thought which leads to destruction and violence. And where does it come from? From that kind of attitude and view that has been given in previous shlokas. If I do not consider the presence of the divine in this creation or behind this creation, then definitely it will take me to violence, because I have no reason to be sober. So the children were making noise in the class. We all children, well, when we are children, we make noise. We make so much of noise in the class, and the moment the teacher enters the classroom, the children become quiet. The teacher is come. If we are decent enough children, otherwise we continue to make noise. And the teacher will have to make us quiet. So, and then the third kind of children, who in spite of teacher yelling on them to become quiet, they won't become quiet. That can be the scene. Which type of childhood did you experience? Depends, from person to person, from time to time, it keeps changing. So I can say very easily that in our times it was so, that of course we used to make a lot of noise, but the moment we will see the teacher coming towards our class, we'll become quiet as though nothing has happened, and we are very obedient children, start looking into the book or writing something. So little wisdom is left, that at least we should respect the teacher. So we should not become noisy, and we should be obedient and focused on studies. If it is not so, then somebody has to put me right. So the teachers are there. Come on, keep quiet. Pay attention. Sometimes that also doesn't work nowadays. They continue to. Now, whose destruction is it? The teacher is definitely going through a lot of trouble in teaching such children who are very noisy, notorious and violent. But first destruction is of their own. Why? Because they are not studying. So when I do not focus on studies, when I am not diligent, when I am not obedient, who is harmed first? First is myself. I am ruining my whole human life. And then, of course, as I grow up, I'll break the family, I will create hassle in the society, neighborhood, I will be disobedient, indisciplined citizen of an unfortunate country. So this was to be learnt right from the childhood. Nashta atmanah, alpa buddhayah. The wise men call him as a man of little intellect. This is foolishness. This arrogance is our foolishness. If my child is disobedient, it is his foolishness. It is not that he is over smart. No, he is very, very foolish. He is of very little intellect. He doesn't understand the value of education, of other human beings around, of life. I have to make him understand the value of human life. If I fail now to teach my small child, what is he going to grow up as? So arrogant. Harmful for himself and the whole of the society. Ugra karmana prabhavanti. Then they will be coming forth with fierce deeds. So, this was Bhagavan Shri Vedavyas compiled Mahabharata some more than 5,000 years back. And the Bhagavad Gita is part of that Mahabharata Granth. It seems as though Bhagavan is telling the children of today, the human beings of today, as though we have become like that. But now can we understand that this is what human beings are made up of? Human beings are the crowning glory of animal kingdom, no? So when I am at the top of an animal kingdom, so animalistic nature is very much there in me. Right? So when I am having that animalistic nature, how much of time it takes to entertain myself with that nature? So don't I need guidance and training not to entertain myself with those animalistic thoughts, words and deeds? Why an educated man does not understand that he needs to be guided and trained as far as his nature is concerned, not education, not knowledge. Knowledge is his choice and his intellectual capacity. Okay. What about character building? Because each individual character has got animalistic characteristics. Until and unless the human beings are made aware of the animalistic nature that one can have, one does have, and how to change that animalistic nature into more humane values, the human being will harm himself with his intellectual ability. Why? Because that intellect will be used for destructive purposes, ugra karma. So what will I do with that profound materialistic intellect which can achieve anything and everything in the world, where I am losing on my own self? Self-destructive program. If we do not have moral education in schools and universities, I will in fact add universities also, because school is not sufficient. One should continue moral education even after school into universities, because when we become youth, our gushing blood motivates us more into materialism and selfishness, arrogance, pride. Animalistic nature flourishes more when we are youth, because now we have power, we have self-confidence, so we are going to use it more. So more so, in universities we need moral education apart from school. But that's where we completely forget about this, and we think that now sufficient given to the child, so it's okay. No, not at all. And then it becomes so destructive for himself, the child. Shayaya jagataha ahitaha. It brings destruction in the world. This kind of nature becomes an enemy of the world. Why in school we have to have this moral education? Why not at home? At home too. Also at home, definitely first at home, but the children must get formal education of morality, formal education of morality all through his studying life. He can be doing PhD. Doesn't he need morality? As a human being, is he supposed to behave the way he wants to? Is he not amongst other human beings? Is he not in a part of this world? So, it is extremely important shloka to understand that why Bhagavan Sri Vedavyas, a man, a visionary, he would have got that vision, future. Of course, at that time also the present scenario around him was also equally, because the same thing will remain. Human beings, life after life, you may call it period after period, time periods, different time periods. The human beings will be having those animalistic characteristics and then need the training. So we are not exceptions, and we cannot afford not to train ourselves also in moral education. Morals and ethics. Civilized human being one should be.